Hi, this is Daniela Camboni for Stansberry Investor. Welcome back to our show. Today, we are talking about the rebound in travel stocks. And joining me today is Frank Holmes. He is the founder and CEO of US Global Investors. He's also the visionary behind the JETS ETF. Frank, welcome back to Stansberry Investor. Good to see you.
It's great. And it was 6 years ago that you were there on the floor of the stock exchange when we launched the vision of the only sort of intelligent way of picking airline stocks globally.
I know. I can't believe 6 years have flown by. I thought it was a year ago, and then I looked and saw it was your 6-year anniversary of the JETS ETF. I can't believe it, but congratulations on the success. Year to date, JETS ETF up 18%. And I want to talk about this with you today because American Express just came out with a report pointing to the rising travel and entertainment spending they're seeing. The card company is seeing consumer spending start to normalize again, specifically in the entertainment categories, having jumped 40% in March over February, while bookings through American Express Travel surged by 50% in the first quarter compared to the fourth quarter. This is also from a report from the Wall Street Journal. So Frank, let's talk about the bounce back and the takeoff, no pun intended, of aviation stocks again here.
Well, the big question now, Daniela, is that a year ago, when all those Robinhood, when you interviewed me, and you have this incredible mechanism called price discovery by Robinhood investors and traders, and 25,000 people came in through Robinhood alone and started buying, and that attracted more. So what happened is that you went from 40,000 shares a day traded when the ETF was $12, and now it's 8 million a day and it's $28. So is that bounce over? And I remember sharing with you that a lot of them believed after every global crisis, the airlines crash down and then they come back a year later and they're up 80 to 120%. Buffett got out at the beginning of June and then they start to take off. So really it's up over 100% from the lows of last year. And so will it go higher? Will it go back to the 34, 36 level? And I think there's lots of optionality there because of Europe is really shut down and Canada is in an igloo. They're all freezing up there from travel. And they're afraid to fly south because they get stuck for 2 weeks if they come back. It will open up, and that will be a big boom for this pent-up demand. And we also see in these tourist places like Vegas, there's no watches, Rolexes, they're all gone. So the pent-up demand is from restaurants. And what's happened in the past year is the TSA started reporting a year ago how many people they cleared every day. And they're used to clear before the crisis 2.7 million people a day. 700,000 were inbound from Latin America and from Europe and Asia. 2 million Americans were flying. It fell down to April of last year to 90,000. Now it's over 1.5 million. Big boom.
So lots of interesting things you just pointed out there. And on the note of Europe, we saw the latest headline here that they are considering and planning to open up travel to Americans who have been vaccinated. They will be able to travel to Europe this summer, Frank.
Correct. And there's a big push in Europe to have, just like I know if you go to Brazil or Latin America, do you have the yellow fever? You have to prove that you've had the vaccine for the yellow fever. That they want this mechanism to prove that you've been vaccinated, and then you can immediately get into anywhere in Europe. The only place holding it up right now is the French. And I was at a conference last week of CEOs in Europe, and this is the big push so that you can have it like I have my vaccine, and you get a copy so you can attach it to your passport, and allows you to travel more easily. So I think it's all in motion. The first big leg's taken place. There's another leg coming that's $17 trillion of EU money, China and America. It's showing up not only in stocks, it's pent up demand for products and services and travel.
Right. And on the topic of travel, I want some more insights from you on, we've seen the leisure travel definitely uptick here. What are you hearing on the business side? Are we going to see conferences take place again? Business travel, Frank?
Well, absolutely. And I think the big issue for the business and the conferences is that when you get more than 50% of the population double vaccinated, the 2 shots, not one. And when you get through that data point, then all of a sudden business is going to feel more comfortable about travel. And as it climbs to 60% to 70%, business travelers will pick up and conferences will start again. There's a big crypto conference actually in Miami,
Yes.
and it's still on. And
Yep.
it's outrageously expensive. I've never been to
I
it.
know. I think it's 5,000 a ticket. Huge names though. Michael Saylor included.
Yeah, yeah. And if you want to go to the whale program, it's 14,000.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, starting ticket 5,000. I was looking into it because I would have loved to attend, but it's really interesting your insights also on the luxury goods. You mentioned you can't even get Rolexes in Vegas, so this pent up demand, is that luxury goods? Would you be looking at some luxury stocks here of people just wanting to pick up Hermes, Rolexes, all these type of goods?
Everything. There's a huge supply shortage, not just chips for cars, for airplanes.
Right.
It's also affecting crypto. If you want to get equipment, all these people have this equipment. And I know from my experience at Hive is making sure you don't rely on one provider like Bitmain, because Bitmain stumbles and it could have a massive impact on delivery. And we saw last year that they were late in delivery, and it has to do with these chips. So the whole world is all this money's behind it. The PMIs are at over 63 in the US. This is very positive for global travel. Business will be on a tear this time next year.
Frank, I'm happy you brought up Hive because that's my segue to my next topic. I know we were talking about the gold versus Bitcoin debate, which I had the honor of moderating last week with Frank Justra and Michael Saylor. And you are what I call a hybrid. You work, there you go.
I'm a Hive hat.
Easily switch hats. That basically, you work in gold and you work in the cryptocurrency world, and you see a place for both, a happy place for both.
Absolutely. I think what's happening with the digitization, and by the way, it was a great debate.
Thank you.
Both were very diplomatic and professional.
Yes.
Nothing was bombastic. There was lots of facts going back and forth, and I enjoyed that. I don't think gold's going to disappear and I look at gold and I look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're like the ballast in a ship. You think of this global economic money printing system, and you have to have balancing factors. A ship tips over if it doesn't have a dagger board or it doesn't have a ballast. And you have to build the ship high, and you need a deep ballast for the bigger the ship. So I think that Bitcoin comes along and is part of that ecosystem, the big picture that gold has had the tradition of 5,000 years, and that's not going away. There's a whole reluctance to go and jump in Bitcoin when the daily volatility is 6 times gold. And that for money managers, etc. So it's not going away. And for Indian women who wear 6 times the amount of gold that's in Fort Knox, that's not going away. We can go with histories replete why gold and jewelry, you can't wear your Bitcoin. You need electricity for it to work. So we have something that they can both coexist in a system that's needed for all this excessive money printing. So to me, both represent the ballast in the ship.
I think that the debate really lies in wealth preservation, and the question is, with the volatility of Bitcoin, should it be considered a store of value the way gold is?
Well, it is a store of value, and it grows as what is store of value is trust. The whole word is trust. Trust in this paper currency, trust in the element of gold. And so now comes along Bitcoin, and it's a digital world. And what we've seen since the 70s, the significance and growth of these networks. What is your network in social media? What is this? I can go on with sort of examples. The crypto digital network is very profound and will grow, and you can buy fractions. So I think what happens with PayPal, Venmo, this is very important that you can buy $500 worth, and if it doubles again, you can sell that and turn around and buy something. You can't buy stocks or gold on Venmo or PayPal. And that audience is a much bigger, broader audience. Investment conferences we just talked about, like the one in Miami. It's unbelievably expensive. I have spoken at places all over the world. Nothing compared to crypto.
Nothing. You're absolutely right. It is a big world. And let me tell you, it's a vocal world. The cyber hornets, it's a vocal crowd, Frank.
Just like the gold bugs, very vocal, but they coexist. Their strengths and weaknesses of both. And I don't think they're going away. And I think you should have at least 2% in digital money. And Hive has been the first public company to go and deliver that. That's why we own Bitcoin, Ethereum in our balance sheet, because there's an audience of investors that use us as a proxy and that do not want to go and buy directly. And it's provided. Last year, Bitcoin was up 12 months is up 700%. Ethereum's up 1,500.
I don't want to forget this point because I want to ask you this, because I thought one of the strongest punches from Michael was when he brought up Newmont Barrick saying, or miners in general, they don't own their own product. They don't have gold on their balance sheets. What did you make of that? Now, Frank's response is that, look, their goal is to make shareholders money. They don't have to have it, and whatever they decide, is their business basically. But, should miners have gold on their balance sheets, Frank?
I think one of the smartest guys ever was Rob McEwen when he did that. Goldcorp, when you look back at Red Lake District, was the richest gold producer in the world. And what was he going to do? Just sell it? He thought it was too cheap, and he started putting it in his balance sheet. And then he traded the highest price to book because of all the gold stocks. And for me, gold analysts were dumb saying, oh, it's too high the price to book. No, it wasn't, because he was basically saying holding a real asset that you believe is going to trade higher is important on your balance sheet. You just think it, like I was going to mention, like last year, Bitcoin was up for 2020, 325%. Ethereum was 475. Hive owning both on their balance sheet, we were up 2,500%. So not only do we mine it and we own some and we paid electrical bills with it, but we believe that it's going to trade higher. So that's been sort of the strategy.
Frank Holmes, I always appreciate your thoughts, and I love how you're all about harmony. Come back anytime to Stansberry Investor, all right? Good speaking with you.
Happy investing.
And congrats again on your 6-year anniversary. And thank you all for watching. We'll have much more for you, so be sure to stay tuned to Stansberry Investor. In the meantime, continue to follow us on all our social media channels. That's it for me. I'm Daniela Camboni.